Let's jump into the MLB, though. You mentioned there was a no-no on Sunday.
Yeah, Alec Mills threw a no-no. We mentioned you twice, Alec Mills, so that's pretty good on an NFL Sunday. A pitcher for the Cubs gets 2 mentions on a Sunday where the Bears actually won. Higgins.
They played the Lions, and
He
the
picked
Lions should have won
what a
that game.
terrible weekend to pick to throw your no-no. The Chicago Bears win a game. Trubisky a fourth quarter comeback. Where's he getting his talking points in Chicago? No one's
Hey,
talking about him.
you mentioned that Bears-Lions game. That could have also been a money line
It
battle
definitely
because
could have.
the Lions had every opportunity to score the go-ahead touchdown, and DeAndre Swift just dropped the pass. He was wide open right next to the pylon. If he caught it, it was going to be a good touchdown. But it just bounced right off his hands. He turned his head away. He didn't quite look the ball in, it seemed.
Yeah, that was a brutal drop, and that was our Alex Mills segment. Thank you.
Some IL movement. We have JT Realmuto. He underwent an MRI on his hip on Monday, so he's out for a bit. Lance McCullers, I just dropped him for my fantasy team. Lance McCullers, I did not drop him for my fantasy team when he was on the IR. He is going to be making his return on Wednesday. Sonny Gray is heading to the IL, though, for the Reds. And then Nolan Arenado on that hot corner. It's a bit uncertain, though, with his shoulder.
Yeah, those are some big names. McCullers returning is big. We'll have to see what happens with Rio Muto and his MRI on Monday. Sonny Gray, obviously been a good pitcher for the Reds, and it's going to be a big loss for any fantasy lineup not to have Nolan Arenado's bat in there, especially with, like we mentioned, playing in the altitude in Colorado. That's a huge help to all those bats. So those are important things to note this week for anyone playing fantasy baseball.
Especially as we're heading down the pipeline, as seasons are finishing and people are heading into their playoffs in most cases this week, if they haven't already. We surprisingly, out of the 10 games that are happening on Monday, though, Brett, only have two that lines were ready for on Sunday night when we came out with this podcast. The Braves versus Orioles and the Twins versus the White Sox. I'm going to be on the Twins versus White Sox game. The Braves versus Orioles, I mean, that looked good. I was tempted by the run line at -1.5 at -110. The value there intrigued me a little bit, but I'm staying away from that one overall.
Yeah, I'm not touching that one. A game I'm interested in, but we didn't have a line for. We mentioned Real Muto's getting an MRI. Phillies have Vince Velasquez on the mound. He's got a north of 5 ERA. I
Close
might
to
be look.
6.
Yeah, I might be looking to bet the Marlins on the money line tomorrow, depending where that number comes out. So, just something to keep an eye on there. But let's
Well,
hop
wait,
into
but
this
but
twin.
wait. Let's just
Oh,
talk about that Marlins team real quick. Pablo Lopez, who's facing off against Vince Velasquez, his ERA is 4.5, and he's 3-4. And the Marlins at home are 6-11 this season. So I don't know if that's the game you should be talking about.
yeah, look at the Phillies IL and tell me who's playing all 9 positions, and then we can have a conversation.
Fair point. Fair point.
I know they got Harper out there still, but that's about it. That's about
He
all
can
their
play 9
money.
spots, can't he?
He can play all 9 positions, sure.
Let's talk about this Twins White Sox game, though, because it is the first of a 4-game series. It's going to be the last time that these two teams face off in the regular season. Currently, the White Sox hold a 1-game lead over the Twins atop the AL Central. Minnesota is 4-2 against the White Sox so far, so there's a lot to look at with this matchup, a lot in play in terms of postseason implications as well. I'm riding the hot hand in this matchup, though. I'm going Minnesota -125, and it's also because of just who they have played recently. I mean, Minnesota's coming off a 2-game winning streak where they beat the Indians twice, and the White Sox, I mean, they've beaten Detroit and Pittsburgh recently, so just who they've had to play, the quality competition is much higher for the Minnesota Twins.
Yeah, I think those are all good points. I like that both of these teams can put up runs, and The over-under of 9 looks a little low to me, and I think that's how I'm going to play this one, Higgins. I don't need to root for any team. I can just root for all the runs.
And yes, actually, I do want to make a clarification. I said the Twins had a 2-game winning streak. They actually swept the Cleveland Indians, getting a win on Sunday. And the White Sox, they have a 4-game winning streak after they swept Detroit. So they have 1 win against Pittsburgh and 3 against Detroit in back-to-back series. But again, Cleveland's a much higher quality opponent, so I'm still riding with Minnesota at minus 125.
Yeah,
But I agree that
and
over-under seems low.
it just seems low for these two teams. I mean, Nelson Cruz leading the league in home runs with 16 for your Twins.
And you look at who's on the mound, and neither's overly impressing. I mean, Barrios has a 4.40 ERA, and Cease has a 3.33. So easily could turn into a hitter's matchup compared to a pitcher's duel.
Yeah, and we'll see how those bullpens hold up too. Romo was suspended for a game for Minnesota, so uh, just all things that will come into play here.
Some other Monday games. I mean, we've had these doubleheaders going on, the 7-inning doubleheaders, which are interesting, and you got to watch out for those with the over-unders. I've hit one of those without realizing that it was only a 7-inning one, but they look deceptively low for a reason. The Mariners and the A's, they're playing a doubleheader on Monday, and then the Padres are hosting the Dodgers, excuse me, as Lamet and Kershaw go off against each other.
Yeah, now I am concerned that over under I'm playing is a 7 inning game, and I'm double checking it because of what you just said.
I don't believe that the Minnesota game is a doubleheader.
I don't think so
It's not.
either.
It's not.
But
It's
but
not.
the way you phrased that, I was like, holy shit, that is kind of low. There's no way it's a doubleheader. I checked. Yeah.
It's not a doubleheader. That's a 8:10 Eastern time
Yeah.
first pitch, so you don't have to worry about that. That's a full 9-inning game.
Yeah, why do we think it's 9? All right, yeah, whatever. I'm definitely excited for this Dodgers Padres game tomorrow, or Monday night, Higgins. Kershaw versus the Padres lineup versus Slam Diego. That's going to be a lot of fun. And the Mariners A's doubleheader. The Mariners kind of fighting for a wild card spot right now, and I like these Mariners, Higgins. I've been on them a few times on this podcast. I like the young bat Kyle Lewis playing outfield for them. Go Mariners. They're a lot of fun to root for, and you kind of get some good value on them. No one's really betting on Seattle baseball teams here on the East Coast.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see where those lines come out for sure.